You made it. Welcome back. Yeah, BEA, beautiful souls. Today's video is going to be quite an interesting one. It's going to be a big picture stuff, boys. Big picture stuff. 7 things that will make For Honor succeed, even after Ubisoft is bought out by any company, because any company is better than Ubisoft, I'll tell you that much. The first thing is going to be no more general locked characters, because I want a big, beefy, shirtless man shooting his enemies with his fully semi-automatic flintlock pistol and having a big ass beard to go with it, and of course the segs update. Now I'm just joking, obviously, okay, and I totally wouldn't want an actual Spartan in the For Honor universe like Conqueror's Blade did. The first thing I really want, bear with me, is a prestige system. The laurel wreaths, you know, those little leafy things next to your rep, that is going to be the biggest thing that I personally have wanted added in the longest time since I played For Honor. I want you to be able to reset this and prestige it like in Call of Duty. Okay, when I was a wee little lad playing Call of Duty, I would rep up the same gun over and over again, and I loved it. And a lot of people continue to play one character forever. We got Malicious and we got Havoc playing Highlander and Warden for the entire life. They're playing those characters the entire time. What is their problem? At least have it so that they could get new colors or a diamond encrusted laurel wreath to make it look cool and separated from other players. This would really differentiate how you would look and how people would perceive you, because if someone could see that you had 160 reps on this, they could be like, oh, that's a pink laurel wreath, or that's a gold or diamond encrusted wreath. I think that'd be pretty sick. It really helps the veterans grind the game and people that just really want to play one character. A lot of fighting games, you kind of just gravitate towards one character, whereas players like me who play every single character and don't want to get bored of them, that's what I would like to do. But I would still focus on maybe my boy, our muchacho, and I might even play him to rep 80. So if they added that for prestiging our reps, I think that'd be a great addition to the game. In addition to the prestige system, perhaps instead of just having new colors for the laurel wreath, we could get unlocked materials and rewards and ornaments or even executions after prestiging a certain amount of time. I have talked to my chat and my viewers, and some of them think that rep 80 going over and over again up to 180, even more so up to the 300 mark and even more, is a little bit too much. And so I would be okay with having to prestige it at 60 and then having unique executions unlocked at that point. And I think that would be a fun way for the veteran players to, continuously play this game. Even though they still will play it after rep 60, rep 70, rep 80, I think that would be a great way to just continue to support the game and have really cool looking characters with new executions that make people say, wow, this guy needs to touch grass. And truthishly, I would definitely jork it to someone who had the rep 160 execution being used on me. Number 2 is a clan/guild system, so I can make the Nobushi Church Enjoyers or the Nobushi Feet Enjoyers for you sick individuals out there. You get our own emblems, you wouldn't have to put your 3-digit clan anymore, and I think that'd be a lot easier, would help promote camaraderie, would promote rivalries, and just make the game a little bit more competitive, which it is already very esports ready, if you guys didn't know. Ubisoft is going balls deep into the competitive scene in For Honor, and I mean, that's kind of how you keep a game alive, is you make the competitive players or people who enjoy the game at a high level, and give them something. And I think this would be a great way to get the casual community to invest more into a competitive side of For Honor, because this game is inherently already fairly sweaty. I am sweating my balls off fighting people who think that there is $10,000 on the line on a weekday. Pretty freaking ridiculous. And so just having like a guild system or just a way to look for groups in a guild system would be kind of insane, because you could just learn from there instead of having to go to an outside source and they could teach you how to play the game at a very high level. But having a clan guild system inside the game itself would already be a really fast track way to improve your skills and give the game more of like a MMO style feel. And I know a lot of people have been asking for an MMO style game, but For Honor may or may not fit that, and we definitely don't need a For Honor Battle Royale, even though a lot of people have been asking for that. I think the Battle Royale age has already died, so we should just give up on that, okay? Let's just give up. Like, give me something for the pain and let me die. Moseying on over to number 3 a very big change, but it's just gonna be such a nice quality of life change for the 4 fashion tards out there, like your boy, like your box boy here. I know a lot of people probably will agree with me on this, but if you have any other opinions, let me know. But this is gonna be movable paint patterns slash embossings and a bunch of other small changes like choosing your own paint colors. I want to compare this game to Warframe, which I played for a very long time. I had like 5,000 hours in Warframe. I don't play anymore, but there's a lot of references in why Warframe is so successful. It gives you a lot of player choice, and that's fairly important when it comes to the fashion, because we all know fashion is endgame. It surely is not getting ganked by Shinobi and Pirate, because if that's the endgame, I might as well just jump off a cliff and commit Sudoku. What has my For Honor game come to? What has it become, honestly? So the best thing that For Honor needs to do is give us more selection when it comes to choosing our colors, our embossings, because when you unlock these at certain levels, you want to look cool and you want to look different from other players. One important way to look different from another player is have the material usage on your left, right, arms, chest, and back, and legs section, you know, in that section where you can turn off a material that you currently have. Instead, give us the option to choose every single material we have for each of those sections. It would really promote a wide variety of colors. I'd say in general, a lot of players do find ways to make the character look pretty different from others, but sometimes I do see, you know, other characters looking alike. When you guys remember Orochi had that new gold armor and everyone used the gold set? Well, I remember that, and if there was a way to differentiate between those two is by having a different color or different paint patterns to move around, you know, I think it would be able to look much different than someone who just put it on default. In addition to having different paint patterns and moving them around, more loadouts is just a given. Everyone's been asking this for years and years. 3 is just not enough, especially when the main premise of this game is fashion. Some people have also suggested separate pants and torsos, but that is a pretty big project that Ubisoft would probably have to invest in, and I don't think that's possible at this time. Maybe it could be an option when you're trying to customize your colors or materials. But other than that, being able to buy armor sets with steel instead of just gambling, because I thought we were out of the gambling industry. No more loot boxes. Overwatch doesn't do anymore, and Vermintide 2 still does it. But you know, For Honor is a 2017 game, so it still has some of the OG stuff. The gambling aspects, even I don't want to gamble in For Honor. It's so brutal. I've gambled away like 50 crates, did not get the item that I wanted, and I think you guys know exactly how I feel. It's absolutely cock and ball torture. There could be a potential community mod system, you know, kind of like a Warframe has it, Tenogen, where, you know, Ubisoft basically pays a modder who has made a really nice armor set that could be put into the game, and then the artist could get a cut. Unfortunately, you'd have to pay with real money, but maybe For Honor could implement a way that you could play with steel. But even so, I think this would be an idea that could be opened up for discussion, and I think that'd be kind of neat to include it into the For Honor universe. Next up on my Christmas list is, that is right, a backfill system. I am a broken record, I'll tell you what. I always talk about this. This is going to be either a tricky thing for Ubisoft to do because it either requires a crap ton of money, but the backfill system is really going to help the community just be healthy. It just feels better to know that someone is going to help you, because there's plenty of times, I'm sure you guys have felt this way and have gone through this exact situation. The first team fight, you absolutely get ass blasted and backshotted, and then your entire team rage quits afterwards because they think they can't win the game anymore. That happens so many times. There's also another scenario too where you join in a 1v4 setting and then you get bots the entire game and there's no backfills whatsoever. Happened to me a plethora of times, and sometimes I do stay and get my ass beat because I like that torture. I just want to feel alive sometimes. You know, I have problems. This game has given me personality disorder, and I accept that now. I've accepted it, and that's why a backfill system would truly be the best way for me to recover. People have also suggested a rejoin button because there are a few individuals who do get disconnected. All right, not everyone is a rage quitter, but some people do get disconnected and want to rejoin. I've been disconnected quite a few times. It's either because the servers are incredibly shit. Sometimes you want to rejoin and help your teammates or help your clanmates win the game. Being able to also forfeit your games, which is another controversial one. You'll probably need at least 2 bots or 3 bots, and then your other teammates has to say, yeah, let's go ahead and just forfeit. Personally, I would prefer the backfill system and the rejoin system. It feels a little bit easier to implement, but then again, I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer, I don't know how that works. People are so used to bots that they forgot what it's like to have new teammates join your team and actually help you. That's just the truth of the matter. It's a fact and the average For Honor player's experience. Number 5 is going to be improved spectator mode for creators and people like ya box boy here. So this is going to be fairly important, especially for multiple reasons. Having this addition is reminiscent of the Overwatch system and the Tekken 8 system. So basically, every single game you play, there will be a folder where you can press save, or there's a hub that you can either decide to look at all your games. You could save your games, you could download them, you can go back into the game and review them and look at them from different angles, from different players. And this is great for competitive tourneys. This is great for content creation. I can't tell you how important this would be to creators like Vita Neon, who do an insane amount of editing. Having some interesting ways to, you know, showcase different perspectives on the game and make some funny memes and things like that would be a great way for creators to just, you know, break through the meta of just constantly doing duels or just constantly doing 4v4, you know, montages and stuff like that. For people that want to continue to express their artistic freedom, I think this is just a perfect way. And I think Ubisoft could definitely find a way to do it, or at least do it the Tekken 8 way, where you can just spectate it and then download the files and just look at all the gameplay and become a better player, you know, in general. So number 6 is gonna be a faction war rehaul. This is probably one of my favorite passions that I have wanted For Honor to do. I made a video on this a long time ago, probably like 3 or 4 years ago. But essentially, I want the faction war to matter. And right now, it currently doesn't matter, at least to, I'd say, 90% of the player base, which is practically everybody. So basically, your faction choice is going to matter at the end of the day. So whatever faction you picked, whether it be the Knights, the Samurais, the Vikings, even the Outlanders, and of course, we do need to add the Woolen faction, my goodness, or even the Outlander faction. Come on, Ubisoft, where are you guys at? Also, update the story mode. Story mode doesn't even exist. But basically, what is going to happen when it comes to the faction war is that every single week or every 2 weeks, there's going to be an event right here. So the Ice Brawlers event, that's usually where all of the events and stuff happen, but for this specific faction war event, it could happen maybe once a month too, mind you. So what you would do is you would click onto one of these modes, or even any of these modes here or whatever, and then after you pick one of these events, it would be either duels, brawls, or dominion, or it could just be random game modes. This would only apply to people who want to play, you know, sort of like not competitive level, but you know, they want to support their faction and give themselves rewards at the end of the campaign season. And so when you go into one of these battles, you're only allowed to pick the faction that you are assigned to. So if you're Viking only, you only pick Viking characters. So there is camaraderie there. There is a sense of team play and a sense of, you know, your own type of people, your faction. So you're fighting with your brothers and your sisters. And when it comes to the Knights, the Outlanders and whatnots, you're only picking those characters, obviously. And for the Outlanders, it makes sense. It's okay because there's already 4 characters, so you would only be able to pick 4 of those. I don't know if they should do single pick, whatever, and or allow everyone to just pick whatever character they want. Could be something we could discuss, but probably single pick is most likely better, because single pick allows the game to be a lot more balanced. When there's like 4 Shigokis or like 4 Black Powers, it's absolutely an AIDS fest, and I literally want to commit Sudoku every single time that happens. That's what would happen. So in those game modes, it would either be random or it would be one of those matches: brawls, duels, skirmish, dominion, and in those sections you can only pick your faction that is allowed. And so when you do that, you're only fighting Knights versus Samurais, Vikings versus Outlanders, and in this scenario, you're fighting for other territories. So kind of how like the faction war works right now, but there will be weekly events to try to gain more territory for your faction. Right? And this is a great place where the clan system comes in, and you can start to fight other rival clans, and actually compete against the other factions. This worked really well in the Dynasty Warrior era. There were plenty of clans just getting up at 9 a.m. in the morning on the weekend and just, playing games together and trying to beat each other and gain more points for their territories. I found it to be very successful, and a lot of people really enjoyed this aspect, even though Dynasty Warriors was a fairly casual game. I learned this type of idea or game mode from the hit game Dynasty Warriors Online. I don't know if anyone's played that, but I'm a Dynasty Warriors fan, and the new Dynasty Warriors Origin game is coming out. But they also had a PvP game online. Not many people knew about it, and it wasn't super popular, but it obviously had a very niche and cult-like community. I think it was about 1,000 people, basically like For Honor. Same player base amount. No, For Honor actually has like quadruple that amount, but basically that would be the entire consensus. There was a 12v12 mode, and I think there was a 24v24 mode as well. I don't know if the For Honor servers could handle that, but having like that much characters on the screen fighting each other, commanding, trying to take over bases, if they wanted to implement that somehow. But starting in small steps with just simply doing Dominion or duels and brawls, and I think that'd be a great way to just have faction-based wars matter, not having to just be random points generated wherever you put your flag, because I don't even know where my flag goes anymore these days. If anybody has played Conqueror's Blade, it kind of has a similar vibe to that too. Conqueror's Blade is definitely more updated than Dynasty Warriors, but I grew up with Dynasty Warriors. I've tried Conqueror's Blade already, but the combat just isn't as good as For Honor. Another idea for the Faction War 2 could possibly be a hub. I know a lot of games add hubs, but with For Honor, there's just so much fashion that I think it would just be a great place for players to hang out and, just talk with their clan and just, and honestly doing a little bit of roleplay. I mean, that never hurt anybody, right? We hear me sit on me, War Mommy, so many times. I feel like we're used to it by now. Why not have it in-game as well? And for the last one, number 7, is to essentially have salvage be useful. Now, a lot of people have suggested that we could use salvage to get new orders, or we can convert it to steel. Could be a possibility. I have I don't know how much I have. Probably have like 1 million or 6 million, something like that. Something very close to those numbers. But if you start using it for XP, you actually will run out. But being able to, convert them to steel seems like a pretty cool way to get rid of salvage, in my opinion. But yeah, if there's any other suggestions to what salvage could be used for, let me know, because salvage right now is fairly useless. All you use it is for XP boost, and if you use it like 6 times during a day, you pretty much will be running out of salvage. So converting to steel or for new orders is pretty self-explanatory, and I don't think we can do scavenger crates, because like I said before in the previous points, that I did want to be able to just strictly buy the armors with steals that you wanted, instead of having it be gambling simulator, because you've seen people who are gambling at the casinos, there is no life in their eyes. It's not a pretty sight. So we don't want, does Ubisoft actually want that? Are they promoting, are they promoting zombies to play their games? I know most of us don't have brains when we play, okay? We're For Honor players, but still. So that is 7 things that would make For Honor succeed, Ubisoft. So if you're listening to me, these things will make everybody happy in the community. I didn't mention ranked modes or any of those, or any kind of balance changes and whatnot. I just want to go over some big picture stuff, very big picture stuff, that will, please the player base in other ways besides just balance and making the game more toxic with more competitive players out there. And so I hope that these ideas were, helpful. If you agreed with them, let me know. If you guys have adjustments or comments on, certain aspects of my ideas, let me know. If your ideas are better than mine, please tell me in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment and share to the Ubisoft devs. Why don't you share it to them and let them know that the box has spoken. It's spoken. And we should also add a plume, Warden's plume, to every single character. And tell them to add a Spartan character already, or a fist cuff character. That'd be kind of sick. Please send the word out to them ASAP. But these are the things that I think would be best for Honor for next year on For Honor 2025, and I hope For Honor continues to last for a very long time. We all love this game. This game has been amazing, even though it's been cock and ball torture, and even though all of our friends have left the game. You can always make new friends. I'll be your friend, okay? I'll be your friend. The box you'll always have a friend in me, okay? You'll always have a friend in me. And don't forget, guys, we'll keep fighting for the For Honor Segs update in the future. Take care, everybody. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. See you later.